Okay, so last time that I did a Onslaught map review, I kind of just did my weird basic thoughts on everything and then a TLDR, but I think I may have thought of a different way of doing this. Let me try this out. I'll see how it works this time. Here we go. I did have a few points of fighting right by the spawn room, and it allowed for some interesting moments, but I do have some things to say a bit more about the rollout. There's like 5 different paths you can take. 2 lead to low and high outskirts, 2 into corridors on the sides, and 1 into the very center. It's pretty quick and easy, the rollout. It's an improvement over Tilted. The rollout on Tilted could be a little bit long, and it just seemed unnecessary to have all that space just because there was very rarely any fighting here. But on Shade, it's a bit easier, a bit closer, and also it provides a little bit of cover, so you're not getting shot off your horse instantly by a Kinessa sitting on the spawn point. Which I think it is better. It is better for Onslaught mode and survival, if it ever comes back, to have not just as soon as you come out, someone can see you and someone can shoot you. It's a bit better for the enemy and not really know where you're coming from. For one, there are a lot of corridors around the map. I like these since they allow for some sick flanking maneuvers, especially on Lord Flank Nando. There's also some high ground patios that can help you get to the objective or to flank routes without exposing yourself very much. On one side is this big cliff, which is a bit more open, despite a big pillar right in the way. And on the other side, it's this small close quarters room with some different walls in different places, and it's just a bit interesting. It's got some nice variation between how much cover is in different parts. The entire thing slopes downward. Like, the entire map, it feels more tilted than tilted. Like, you've got high ground on one side, and then you move down to low ground. Despite this, there are also, like I said, there are some patios that rise up and above, allowing you to do some other things. So the whole map seems just flow. The objective area isn't bad. There are a few tunnels that lead onto the main area, but it can sometimes be a crucible if enemies are on the high ground, especially people like Kinessa, Androxus, Willow. Once you're in the main area, though, it feels open enough that you could be on an even fight. With the Jaguar Falls Onslaught mode, the pillars on one side can keep you from easily reaching enemies. But here there really isn't anything to get in the way. If you want to contest, you actually have to face them head on, which I think is good. It gives the 2 different modes for Onslaught. You can either run around trying to outflank your enemy and get those kills, or you can focus on holding down the objective and that. It's either it epitomizes what Onslaught is. You've got the flanking that you need, and you've got the open areas that you need if you want to hold down the objective. I think Shade is quite the nice map. There are some points of color put into the map. The whole thing has a lot of options for the theme it goes for, especially with pillars, those patios. Personally, with the name Shade, it makes me think of like this dark temple area. Heck, maybe we'll get something in the Abyss that Ceres always talks about. It could be an extra-dimensional dark world place. But aside from that, as a map, it just feels right. Obviously, I'm not a pro, so they may see a lot of issues I don't, but I don't see any issues. The best thing is that it doesn't suffer from Timber Mill syndrome like a lot of the previous test maps, as the high ground on the map is still very manageable. One issue, though, is that Kinessa, as with many Onslaught maps, Kinessa is kind of overpowered as a defensive character. They have easy access back to their spawn. It's just hard to pin them down. I don't know, I feel like there should be less wide windows for Kinessa to go through. Even despite its issues with Kinessa, I think that Shade is very near to release quality.
Psst, guys, hey, I also have a giveaway in the description. I've got a festive chest, I've got Hemlock Willow, and I've got Defiler Mal'Damba. So if you want one of those three, I know it's like 3 times my last giveaway. So if you want one of those, just go in there. It's easy. Just pretend to subscribe. Thanks, guys.